And now, live from Curious Comedy Theater in Portland, Oregon, where the kombucha is always fresh squeezed, it's Late Night Special! From Workaholics and The Good Place, Meribeth, Monroe! And, as seen on Modern Family and Parks and Rec, Jaime, Moyer! Breakside Brewery's Master Brewer, Edmunds! Willamette Week Beer Reporter, Andi Prewitt! Helium's Funniest Person in Portland 2018, Falcone! Musical guest, Rowdy Brownie! House band, The Laugh Tracks! And now your hosts, Stacy Halal and Jay Blue Valley!
Wow, welcome to Late Night Special. You ready to have a good show?
Wow, thanks for being here. So excited to have you all here. We love doing this show.
Well, I love you, Stacy Hall. Give it up for Stacy Hall.
And I love you, Jay Fluelle.
Thank you.
And I am super excited because we have a lot of special stuff tonight.
Oh my gosh, so much. I'm so excited for the show tonight. It's going to be amazing.
Me too. For one thing, it's our Oscars episode. Oscars are tomorrow.
Yeah, well, and if you hate Hollywood, don't worry, because it's also our beer episode. Yeah.
If you don't like Hollywood or beer, sorry.
You chose a bed.
But we also have, for those of you and everybody else, a super special guest, Meribeth Monroe, who plays Mindy St. Clair on the Good Place.
Who's a fan? She's here.
And Jaime Moyer is here.
Who's a fan?
And she's been on Parks and Rec and Modern Family, and is just one of the funniest human beings alive. So we're super excited to have her here.
God, and Beer Week, Ben Edmunds from Breakside Brewery. Who's a fan? God, they're here. Yeah, and Andi Prewitt, she's from the Willamette Week. She writes for them. Give Andi Prewitt and the Willamette Week a round of applause. Oh, gosh. Yeah, and next week is the Oregon Beer Awards, so you're going to want to check that out.
That's right. And we have Alex Falcone and our musical guest, Rowdy Brownie. You're in for a treat. But before we jump into all of that, Jay, did you hear that it came out this week that visitors to the Grand Canyon Museum have been exposed to high levels of radiation for almost 20 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sad news, but I was also glad to hear it because it explained that souvenir t-shirt I saw. It said, I went to the Grand Canyon and all I got was this lousy radiation poisoning.
Yeah.
I don't know why they use such a big font. It doesn't...
You want people to read it.
Yeah.
Well, also his head fell off because of
Yeah.
it. So actor Jesse Smollett was arrested for allegedly faking his own assault, which Smollett had claimed was committed by racist homophobes, which made racist homophobes everywhere rejoice, saying, "See, we're not that bad." But you are that bad because you're racist homophobes.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers.
Also this week, Trump confidant Roger Stone apologized to a federal judge after a controversial Instagram post.
Yeah.
It looked like this.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
So edgy. Yeah.
Apparently this post violated his gag order.
Well, okay. Well, but the Vatican, yeah.
I did.
Dad liked it. Okay. So the Vatican confirmed it does have a secret guidelines in place for priests who break their vows of celibacy and father children. Now, in a related story, the man I call Daddy just bought a priest uniform.
Just a little insight into Jay Fluelle. A gondola ride at SeaWorld broke down, trapping 16 passengers for hours. Can you believe that, Jay? People were held captive at SeaWorld in a small glass box, unable to get out for all kinds of people to just see. At SeaWorld, of all places.
But no, they wanted to be there. They wanted to be. No, okay. All right. So earlier this week, a couple in Vermont, they held their wedding in the Walmart where they met for the first time. Now they wanted a destination wedding, but Target was just too expensive.
Legendary fashion designer Karl Lagerfeld died this week, which means in about a month he'll be skinny enough to fit into one of his dresses.
Finally, yeah.
Lucky him.
Well, an 11-year-old was arrested in Florida, and this is because they were refusing to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay. Florida. You can bring your emotional support alligator to a Margaritaville while being shirtless and carrying an AK-47, but you'll be goddamned if you don't salute that flag.
In an interview, actress Gwyneth Paltrow stated that she will be leaving the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yeah. Paltrow was best known, of course, for her role as the Marvel villain Goop, who convinced women to steam clean their vaginas.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's Late Night Special! Not good for you, Jay. Steam cleaning your vagina.
I wouldn't know. Oh my
Oh,
gosh, look at
Mario.
this delicious ice-cold Breakside Brewery Pilsner.
Yeah.
Oh
I'm gonna have a little. I'm just gonna take it right out of the bottle.
gosh, I'm gonna be a lady and drink it out of a glass.
It's a big head on that, Jay.
Put on a priest uniform.
We have a secret, which is that we're not big beer drinkers, either one of us.
No.
So I'm hoping tonight we'll be educated and brought into the world
Yeah.
of beer.
It is good. I do enjoy it.
So I enjoy the first couple of sips, and then I'm just like, that's what it tastes
See,
like
that's
to
where
me.
the salty snacks come in.
Oh, okay.
Ah,
Great.
yeah.
Can I get some salty snacks? How's your week been, Jay? What's going
Oh,
on?
my week has been super lovely. I went to Brighton Bush Hot Springs.
What?
Yeah. Anybody been? Yeah. You have to be a hippie or older than 78. So, but it's lovely. You should check it out. I went there with a lover.
Father, forgive me.
Do you have to get naked with other people?
You don't have to be. It's just all clothing optional. Yeah.
Do you have to look at other people naked? That you didn't.
You don't?
Okay. It's my only thing. It's my only thing.
Wait, what's your only thing?
I don't necessarily want to see everybody naked.
Oh, I thought that you were like, my thing is like, I have to look.
That is my thing. How do you not? Isn't everybody?
You're like, I don't want to. Also, I did get sick, a
Oh,
little
no.
sick. I thought it was strep throat, and because I'm on the Oregon Health Plan, anybody else, OHP? Yeah, it's like socialism for poor people, yeah.
It's great. It's
Okay.
almost it's almost Canada. It's
Yeah,
almost Canada.
yeah.
So tomorrow is the Academy Awards.
Whoa!
Which I'm not going to be watching because we have a show here tomorrow that I'll be
Okay.
doing. You guys should come see that instead. You can, watch it later on YouTube.
Yeah, I might go to an Oscar party. I don't know.
Come here.
Okay.
But I don't know about you guys. So I've been dating somebody for 14 months, and we have not gone to one single movie together in that entire time. Yeah, which is amazing. It's kind of nice, right? Because we actually do stuff where we can talk and look at each other rather than just taking a whole movie.
Yeah, I like movies on like third date, fourth date.
Okay. And
Yeah.
If I do that, I usually end up making out through the whole movie.
Cool. What movie do you like to make out in?
You know what movie I made out all the way through?
Jurassic Park. I knew it.
Yeah. We just watched that. We did watch that at home on VHS, which it should be watched on. Closer. The Mike Nichols movie with Kira.
You're like dysfunctional four-way relationship.
I was like, this is boring.
It is boring.
Everybody in
was
that movie
boring.
is terrible. I was like, I don't
They
care
are.
about any of them.
Yeah.
Made me appreciate the person I was making out
I
with.
also remember there being too many sliding glass doors in that movie.
Yeah. Anyway, so I have not seen any of the Best Picture nominees. I know many people have seen some, but not others. So we thought we'd just help everybody out with a little summary of all of the Best Picture nominees for this year's Academy Awards.
We're so gracious.
Yeah, and Best Picture is the most prestigious of the awards. So we're gonna have our in-house film critic.
We have an in-house film critic?
That's right. He's on retainer. He went to film school at Brazzers.com. Well, I should say he studied film there.
He's on retainer. I mean, how can we afford this? I mean,
We pretty much let him have water and use the bathrooms whenever he wants to.
Okay.
And so he's going to come out and give you all a summary in case you need it. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Mr. Carl Fisher.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Stacy. Thank you, Jay.
You're welcome.
Thank you for the water. It was delicious.
Oh, you're welcome.
I used the bathroom. I did clog the toilet.
Okay.
God damn it.
Okay.
You can just go ahead and put that on my tab. That'd be great. All right. Thanks. Woo! Wow. What a collection of Best Picture nominees we have this year. Yeah, great one. Honestly, it's an honor just for me to be up here summarizing each of them for you. First up is Black Panther. Yeah, from the creators of the critically acclaimed Planet Earth comes a new way to see the world.
Wait, what?
The producers strapped a GoPro on the neck of an actual Black Panther so you can watch a thrilling 180 minutes of unedited footage of the wild cat, mostly sleeping, but occasionally sprinting after a small animal and then falling back asleep again.
I don't think that's
I don't know if
not the Black Panther.
That's not.
Oh yeah, I saw it 4 times. Yeah.
Oh.
Next up is Bohemian Rhapsody. This is a compelling biopic about the Queen of England.
No.
Heavy with British accents and phrases like, hello, governor, fancy a spot of tea, and g'day, mate. In short, a very British movie, not about James Bond. Who knew those existed?
Good day, mate is an Australian expression.
Well, let's not split hairs here, Stacy. Let's move on to my favorite, the favorite, a revealing documentary following everyone's favorite band, Queen. Filmmakers dig deep into riveting questions like, how do homophobic sports fans reconcile their ignorant prejudice against the fact that they're listening to We Will Rock You and We Are the Champions, 2 of the certified most amazing sports anthems ever, of all time? And of course, how could we forget Green Book? Based on a longer series written by Theodore Geisel, otherwise known as Dr. Seuss, called Red Book, Green Book, Me Book, You Book. This film is a true story of 2 unlikely friends who go on a road trip together and rhyme the entire time. Sure, rhyming throughout a movie is daunting, but that's how epic stories have always been told. Has anyone here ever read the Honda Odyssey? Get thee to a library, people!
Car. That's a car.
This
Carl.
isn't true.
It's not my fault I read books. Who could forget the instant classic Roma? Finally, a non-satirical story of the Roma people or nomadic gypsies of Europe. Sure, we all laughed at Brad Pitt's interpretation in the non-pornographic version of the movie Snatch. We're all saying, you like dags? I'll fight you for it, in a funny voice. And that's all well and good. But the film Roma shows us a more contemporary and accurate look into the lives of these nomadic and almost forgotten people. Yes, it's a somber story. And who could forget? Thanks for having me up here. Who could forget? They don't let me do this very often. Probably never will again. Who could forget Black Klansman? I think that one's pretty self-explanatory. Let's go on to the next one. The producers really nailed the title on this one. A Star is Born. Yes, a wonderful film adaptation of the beautifully produced Cosmos series by Carl Sagan. This epic journey into the wonders of our universe will take you on a roller coaster of emotions for what seems like the real birth of a star. Running at 488 minutes, make sure to get plenty of popcorn and don't drink any liquids. Oh, and the soundtrack is by Lady Gaga. Oh, and lastly, but certainly not leastly, Stacy and Jay, is Vice. This movie takes an inside look into Vice Media LLC, a Canadian digital media and broadcasting company originating from the Montreal-based Vice magazine, co-founded by Sarush Al.
Carl, have you seen any of these movies?
Any.
Obviously, I'm your in-house film critic. I'm an expert.
Okay, all of these sound made up, except the last one sounds like you cut and pasted it from Wikipedia.
No, I would never do that.
Carl,
What?
these aren't correct.
You don't know.
Fine. I haven't been to a single one of these movies since MoviePass folded. Maybe if you guys could give me a budget, I could really go and put something amazing together. But now I'm just trying to piece it together from what I've heard people talk about at the food court in the mall. Thanks, Stacy and Jay.
Ladies and gentlemen, Carl Fisher.
It is really tragic about MoviePass.
It is, and also that about our budget.
Yeah.
So, there are yellow envelopes at the front. If you make a donation, maybe you'll get more accurate summaries next time. We're a non-profit.
Did you ever have MoviePass?
I never had MoviePass.
I had it. There was a golden age, and then it was horrible.
Yeah, I just don't have the time. I think it's time for us to bring out our guests who are big movie fans.
Yes.
Please, everyone, let's welcome to the stage Meribeth, Monroe, and Jaime Moyer.
Look at our picture. That's exactly how I look all
That
the
is
time.
exactly how I look.
That's me. Yeah, take one. We're down for it.
You want a picture? Get it now. They're going to be posted.
Tag me.
Everybody asks us if that's my headshot, and I'm like, I wake up like that.
And then they ask me if that's my headshot, and I'm like, I gotta sleep like that.
We're like a full day of beauty.
That's my headshot from 4 years ago. And I'm
Ditto.
still rocking it, baby.
Ditto.
Because that's like $700.
Well, you
All right, thank you. Good night.
It's so nice. We've been having a great time with you here all weekend.
We love Portland.
We love you. And we love the Curious Comedy Theater.
Curious Comedy Theater!
So much. You've taken such good care of us.
I'm doing my best.
You did
I
an
am doing
awesome
my
job.
best.
Stacy sent a car to pick us up at the airport.
Because I was terrified of trying to put a baby car seat in my RV van.
Johnny, I travel in a car
Baby
seat.
car seat. Custom made.
Jamie has to ride in a rear-facing
Yeah.
car seat.
I get scared when I can see what's ahead of me. I gotta see what's behind me, baby. I live
This is
in
in
the
a car.
past.
This is in life. This is everything. Wow.
Yeah. So you two, well, did your relationship with Portland start when you were doing Twist Your Dickens? Or had
Yes, so I did Twist Your Dickens at the Armory. Thank you. At the Portland Center stage at the Armory. In the Pearl. Henry's Tavern, anybody? And
Breakside.
break yourself. So, I came here for 3 winters and was put up in a beautiful corporate apartment in the Pearl and did that amazing show, and I just fell in love with Portland. I really adore it here. And my cousin works at Paxton Gate. She loves working there. She's so proud of her job. It's awesome.
Yeah,
Her cousin is a stuffed lion.
Yeah. Have you been there yet? Did you go today? Okay.
No.
It is one of my, if you haven't been, and again, they have not paid us anything for this, but it's my favorite place to send tourists. It's a bizarre, who's been by round of applause?
Now, we have some time tomorrow, so we might not let you down.
For
we
fear of
might
ruining
end up
it,
going.
you gotta go there. It's a magical. It's on Mississippi. Where? On Mississippi, it's called Paxton Gate.
Oh my God.
And it's like a, I don't know, medieval science room.
See, I didn't know it was on Mississippi. Mississippi and Alberta are right? Isn't it
Yeah.
Alberta, Mississippi?
Yeah,
are my
Alberta
two
here.
favorite streets in the world.
Yeah.
They're the best streets. I was like, oh, I went
She
there in
came
the
to
dead of
visit me
winter.
the first year I was here doing Twist Your Dickens at the Armory Theater, not getting paid.
God,
for this.
Jesus.
But
Plug it
she
again.
came to visit me, and Maribeth fell in love with Portland
Oh my
in
God.
one weekend. She's like,
One week,
I think I'm
was
gonna
for
buy an
days,
apartment
and I was
building
mostly
here.
on Mississippi and Alberta, and I was just like, oh my God, this is like my dream little neighborhood. I love it so much.
It's great. And you two have known each other forever.
47 years.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. But
Which
it
is
feels
weird
that
because
way.
I'm 32.
And I'm 12.
And did you two meet at the Second City Detroit? Is that where you, or did you know each other even before
Well,
that?
actually, it's very interesting. So we both are alum of Second City
I
Detroit.
save a lot of breath when I'm with Jaime.
Anyway, we both are Second City Detroit alum, but my mom was Maribeth's professor in college, her theater professor.
Wayne State University.
Wayne State University. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. So years before I ever met Meribeth, my mom's like, I am this student, Meribeth, I love her so much. She's like, Meribeth gets all the parts. And so my mom directed her in many shows, but one of them was Anne Frank. Meribeth played the sister Margot, and I went to go see her in the show, and I was like, she's okay.
Wow, you have never told me this.
What's all the excitement
It's
about?
funny, Lavinia told me about her daughter at another school, and I was like, no, I'm not going to go.
But I went to help my mom clear out our basement she had to get new piping in our basement. So I was helping her clear out her paperwork, and I found one of her old grade books, and I took a picture, I sent it to Maribeth, but it said, Maribeth Monroe, excused absence, excused absence, excused absence. I was like, my mom really must have loved you.
She loved me.
She loved her.
I got out of class a lot with your mom, and it was great.
Yeah. But so that's where we met.
And it was like a powerhouse crew at Second City Detroit. Who else played with you guys and came from?
I mean, I came up with Keegan Michael Keys and Naima Funk and Josh Funk and Larry Joe Campbell and that whole crew. Antoine McKay, he was on Empire. A lot of really great people, Detroit, specific people. And then Jaime.
I was with Tim Robinson and Sam Richardson, who are the two minds behind Comedy Central's Detroiters.
Yeah.
And
If you guys
Sam
have
is
not
on
watched,
beat.
if you haven't watched Detroiters, that is one of the funniest shows
It's so
ever
good.
made. It's so good.
So good. Yeah, a lot of people came out of Second City Detroit, and we were kind of like Lord of the Flies there. We kind of were just kind of in charge of ourselves.
We hunted each other down and murdered each other. 4 parts on the Second City Detroit.
That's right. And so we were humbled because we kind of had to watch after ourselves a little bit. So a lot of us have kind of helped each other throughout the years. Some people went to Chicago, some people went straight to LA, but a lot of us are still friends. We're all in an improv troupe called the 313, which is the area code for Detroit. And there's 13 of us in that troupe right now out of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
That is
So
awesome.
small troop,
Yeah. But we're besties, and Maribeth actually has a 5-month-old baby daughter who's also here with us in Portland. That's who the car seat was for. Wasn't me. We tricked you.
I wish I had a picture to put up because she is that cute.
She's adorable.
She's really, really
She's
cute.
a real sweet pea.
And Maribeth, it's been really fun. I mentioned last night that I saw you in Portland on this tour called Lutz. John, I think weren't you and Lutz were
John
together?
Lutz, Stan Vacadol.
Yeah.
Yep. Cicelli.
Dan Bacadol's been on Daily Show. Lutz
Yep.
is on 30 Rock, wrote for it, and played Lutz.
And played Lutz.
Who's named after him. And
And
you
he's
really,
on Seth Meyers now, and just so prominently featured in a hilarious
Yes,
video
yes.
that Amber Ruffin
He's
just put out.
He's the exaggerated racist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was just growling.
And then we met in Chicago. I got to be in a class with you, which was super fun. Then you shortly thereafter moved to LA, and I've watched you be in so many shows and just been cheering for you from afar. And it's also been a history of LA in Hollywood, like trying to make an improv show work.
Yes.
Whose Line's been on for 30 years.
Yep.
But they can't.
Just got renewed again.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
And I was creative consultant on last season's Wild and Out,
Yeah.
which is still kicking.
Yeah, that's true. Were you on Wild and Out too?
I was not on Wild and Out.
Naima
Naima
Funk and
Funk
Chris
was,
Funk
yeah,
and-
and Josh Funk was one of the coaches as well for both of the teams. But no, I never got on that show.
Those are really the only two.
Well,
Yeah,
I
the
was
only
actually a cast. My very first job when I moved to Los Angeles was on a show called Thank God You're Here. And it was an improv-based show, sort of, where celebrities were invited onto the show, and we would give them a full wardrobe, like they'd be dressed. We'd dress them as a doctor, or we'd dress them as an astronaut, or something like that. And they'd walk onto a set that they had no idea what the set was, and the first line that they would hear is, "Thank God you're here, doctor. We're about to perform this surgery." And we would have a script of what we would be doing, and they would have to improvise off of the script, which sounds like a hilarious idea, right? We lasted 7 episodes. And the reason we only lasted 7 episodes is because the nature of it is very anti-improv, unfortunately, because we are sticking to a script and they are improvising, and we can't really follow them into the abyss of where they're going improvisationally, because our producers wanted us to stick to the script, which I understand for time purposes and for filming and television. It's a whole deal, right? But unfortunately, it just was like, the celebrity would come on and be like, "Oh, I love you," and I'd be like, "Well, better fill out this paperwork." Totally ignoring what they're
They'd
doing.
always be in a panic, and
Yes.
Maribeth is
Oh.
like this beautiful woman, and I feel
Wow,
like I
thanks.
just watched people chase Maribeth around while she was like saying lines from her script
So true.
to protect herself.
Because I think a majority of the men that came on were nervous, and so their go-to
Yeah.
was like, "I'll flirt with this woman,"
Right.
and it
And it's
ended
all
up being like
me
this
too.
cat and mouse thing
Yeah.
every time that was mostly misogynistic.
Yeah.
That's how I got my start.
And I was like, thank
Hashtag
God
me
she's from
too.
Detroit. She
Yeah, I
takes
know,
care of
right.
herself, you know. She's a
100%.
powerhouse. But you two spent this week working on a new TV show that is an improvised concept as well.
That's right. So we filmed, so Jaime and I, on top of coming to Portland and doing all these shows and teaching workshops, we did about...
We crazy.
We're crazy. We did about 7 hours of short form improvisation the day before we left to come here to film a pilot presentation for NBC for hopefully a new show called The Happy Hour, which will be an hour-long short-form competitive improv show where a group of 4 all-star improvisers, myself and
Seasoned.
seasoned and not old,
Seasoned.
improvisers go up against 4 up-and-coming new stars who are very new to improvisation, but have made their mark at whatever college or improv school
I
that
just
they've
finished
been
my
studying.
finished my level 1 class.
Oh my gosh! Well, you could potentially be on the happy hour. You and 3 of your adorable friends.
Yeah.
And so they go head-to-head in a bunch of short-form games, much like the games we played tonight. One of the games we played was Oscar-winning moment. We renamed it Emmy-winning moment because it's for TV. But we played short-form games like that. And I just got to give a shout-out to my girl Jaime because she was really a hero. She ended up coming on board rather last minute when one of our other players dropped out. And she came in and totally slayed it. So it was
It's
wonderful.
really fun. I hope it goes. I hope it goes.
It'd be great. I mean, it'd be great to get some improv on TV, like
would
you
be.
said, outside of Who's Line.
I think
you
it
know?
just
And Wild and Out.
And Wild and
Wild and
Out.
Out, which are both great shows. And, we've had Colin here in Portland a bunch, and he's awesome.
Firth?
Yes, Colin Firth. Colin Firth. started like a dancing game in the show that you were shooting? And
Highly active.
No, we
dancing.
started dancing and we got super winded. Wanda Sykes was like, y'all seem winded. We were like, and we are, yeah.
Because honestly, the seasoned
We're seasoned.
all-stars easily had like 20 plus years of improv experience, and you can't beat 20 to have 20 plus years. You know what I'm saying? So we were
The
winded.
numbers
as
add
F.
up to exhaustion.
Winded as F.
And I think over the 20 years that I've been doing improv, people know what it is now,
Yes.
which is really exciting. And even the 10 years Curious has been open, people come up, what's this? And now listening to someone explain to their friend what improv is a huge step forward.
Yes.
And hopefully executives will trust it.
Your
We'll get
lips.
some improv on the TV. Starring me too.
Yes.
So I also heard that the two of you can be a little bit competitive with each other.
No.
So I
Not at all.
Who told you that? I hope I told you first.
you
Bitch, I told her first.
So we're in that you both enjoy the Oscars, so we have some Oscar trivia for the two of you.
Well, I will be a gracious bestie, and I really do think my lady's going to
Are
take
you
me on
conceding already?
this. Wow and no. Let's do it.
Okay. First question. What is the only sequel to have ever won Best Picture?
Batman Forever.
Avatar 2.
No, let's answer seriously.
Godfather 2.
Yes, you are right. Jamie wins the point. All right, who is the only Oscar winner with Oscar-winning parents?
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Blythe Danner. What's her name?
Gwyneth Paltrow's mother.
I think it's her parents.
You think it's the Danners?
I think it's the Danners.
When I say Gwyneth, she says the Danners.
Liza Minnelli.
Of course it is.
Judy
That's
Garland.
Judy Garland.
Her mother. Can either of you do a Liza Minnelli impression?
Oh, well, no.
Kind of like that. Right? No, that was terrible.
No,
I
those
can't.
Those were awful.
Thank you very much.
Who is the most nominated family?
The Sheens.
No, hint, it's not the Paltrows or the Danners.
I'm gonna say most nominated family. I'm gonna say the Barrymores.
Ooh, that's a good guess.
Thank you.
I'm going to steal your first answer and say the Sheens.
Both good guesses, neither correct. It's the Newmans.
Paul Newman or Newman from Seinfeld?
It is Newman from Seinfeld.
Oh, that fictitious character's family.
All right. What Best Picture nominee has the most profanity?
The Godfather.
Pulp Fiction.
Hint, Leonardo DiCaprio had to learn how to do drugs for this film.
My Own Private Idaho?
He was probably 5 years old.
Okay, I got two answers. The Departed or Basketball Diaries. I go with Departed.
The answer is The Wolf of Wall Street.
He just did cocaine out of the girl's butt. Remember that? So terrible. How could I have forgotten that?
Yeah.
Awful scene.
All right, last question, and this is for the whole shebang, which is bragging rights. How many fucks are in that movie? Whoever's closest without going over.
F-bombs in Wolf of Wall Street?
How many fucks in Wolf
Are you
of
talking
Wall
about
Street?
sex or F-bombs?
No, the actual word fuck.
We should say it at the same time.
Okay. Ready?
1, 2, 3, 70.
17.
70.
70 and 17.
No, I said
117.
217. Meribeth is the winner.
Yes! Well
She's right behind me.
The real
God.
is 550.
Holy shit.
Whoa!
Yeah.
That's a long way from 70.
It is.
Long way
That's
from
never
70.
gonna be on a network.
But how many F-bombs are in The Departed?
You were probably right if that were the question.
That honestly felt a little good to beat you at Oscar stuff, because this girl has not missed an Oscar in, 48 years?
And tomorrow you'll miss your first.
Yes, come see me here tonight as I miss the Oscars for
Tomorrow.
the first time. Or tomorrow.
Yeah, they're already here to see you tonight.
Come see me here tomorrow as I miss my first Oscar telecast since I was 9.
Yeah.
No, make it worth my while by showing up.
Yeah, please do. And then we'll all
see our
watch
show.
a pre-recorded version
Yes, and
of
bring
the
me over
Oscars
and
here
I'll DVR at your house. I'll make
Yeah,
pizza.
we'll do it. But they'll be playing in Ruby Rocket, which is a
Woo!
improvised noir.
Yes.
It's a full hour. It's set in the 30s.
We have to wear neutral colors.
That's right. With cool visual projections. So come back and see
Yes,
that.
I need you here. And I'm going on a media blackout, so don't tweet at me. Don't Insta me, and don't FB me. I'm not gonna look.
What will they do with their evening?
They should come here to
Yeah.
see Ruby Rocket, and then we'll go to your house and we'll watch the Oscars after.
And she's a fun time. So I would
I'll
take
say.
her up on it.
Thank you.
Take her up on it. Thank you so much for being here. Very good.
You're so welcome.
They've been working on. They did workshops today. They've just crushed. How many people were here for the early show? They're round of applause. They're hilarious and awesome. Are you ready for a musical break?
Yes, like an international music.
Computer.
I'm doing research.
I have a paper due tomorrow.
I got a
Mom.
paper.
I'm researching how many times I can jerk off in 40 minutes, Mom, and guess what?
That'll surprise you.
We're gonna need a carpet cleaner, Mom.
Even though the carpet was brand new.
Oh, Mother, I'm sorry. It's really gross in here. Put a sponge in a cup and warm it.
Wait, is that to clean up or are you going to fuck?
What are you doing? What are you doing with your life now?
Just to give you a heads up, they will be doing a special set after the show as a gift to you, our live audience.
Yeah? Yeah, you'll see them again before the show's over.
That
and
too.
then we'll have a little break at the end of the show, and then they're going to do 20-minute set and shoot a little music video here. So stick around. That's just for our live studio audience. Sorry, folks at home. You're going to have to wait for those videos. But I really love how much they brought that Swedish culture with them.
Yeah. I can't decide what's better, them or this delicious Breakside Pilsner.
So good. And we're going to get to the beer part of the show in a moment. But in tribute to the Oscars as well, we have one more thing to talk about. Which is every year they do an in memoriam to the actors whose lives ended and we lost this year. I was going to say, to Mr. Death.
Big fan.
I don't know why my brain
or
wanted to say Mr.
why
Death.
he's a man.
I don't know. I don't know.
Death is
Death
probably gender neutral.
Probably. But we want to leave that bit, that production to the Oscars. But we did prepare our own in memoriam. And this is a tribute to all those entertainers who lost their careers
There's
this
been a
year.
lot. There's been a lot.
So, Anthony, can I get a little mood lighting, and can we get just a little moving music as we go through our in memoriam? First off, Megyn Kelly, whose career died of everyone finally realizing she's a fucking racist.
Yeah. And for wearing that vest.
Yeah. We're trying to look like Candace Bergen.
Yeah. I'm
worse human being than a true pirate.
Take off that earring.
Yeah. Next up, Kanye West, of an incurable case of extreme narcissism compounded by MAGA. Kevin Hart, of homophobic tweets, an insincere apology, and worst of all, leaving us with no host for the Academy Awards.
And how dare a homophobe wear that fashionable jacket?
That's a great point, Jay. Next up.
You did not buy that on your own.
Next up, Nicki Minaj, whose career died of her attacking Cardi B.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. The attacking of Cardi B being contagious also took the career of Tommy Lauren. That one we're not so sad to see go. Jussie Smollett? I know. His career has died of excessive greed. He didn't think he was getting paid enough for, what was he, he's on Empire, right?
Something.
Now he will get free food in prison. So hope it was worth betraying everybody by pretending you were attacked. Next up, Brendan Fraser, whose career died of everyone thinking he's already dead. Haven't heard from him in a while.
I wear a watch and a dog collar.
Next up, Lena Dunham. She died of everything she's done and then taking an apology tour to profit from her insincere apology. You guys are like, what? Look it up. She's horrible.
That last season of Girls, trash.
Michael Cohen, of trusting the wrong shady New York businessman. And lastly, we say goodbye to R. Kelly, whose career died of it's about fucking time.
Thank God!
That is our in memoriam. Great night special.
Thank you.
Woo! You guys like beer?
I like beer.
Then maybe it's time to bring out some guests who are gonna share
Ooh, I'm excited about this.
information and actual beer. Ben Edmunds and Andi Prewitt.
Give them a round of applause! There they are! Yes! Welcome. Thank you so much. Go ahead and take it. Okay.
Anyone need a beer?
Yeah, I need a beer. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take one.
Okay.
one?
You already have one.
He's two-fisted.
Amazing. So excited to have you guys here.
Thank you.
Can I just give you a beer? Can I see your ID, please, ma'am? We're follow the rules here. Hi.
Hi.
So you are the editor, an editor of Willamette Week, the entertainment editor?
Assistant arts and culture editor.
Okay, I was super close. Fantastic. How long have you been doing that now?
August? Since
Oh,
August.
so
Yeah, very
relatively
new.
new.
Yes, very new.
Awesome. How are you liking it? What's wrong? You can tell me. Nobody's here.
There are good things. There are very good things, and then there's pay.
Yeah. The things you do for-
Journalism doesn't pay a lot,
Right.
no
right.
matter where you're at.
Yeah, and it's a hard industry
Very
in the
hard.
changing media environment of the world.
Indeed.
And you decided, yeah, I'm gonna jump right in there.
I drink too much.
But
Well,
you have a
listen.
fun job. Like, do you get to go on adventures and stuff?
That is the best thing. Basically, I can drink and eat and go to shows, and that's, that makes up for the downside. So yeah, lots of fun stuff, for sure.
Fantastic, awesome. And so we have the beer awards coming up, and Willamette Week produces those each year.
Yes.
Where is it this year?
It is at Revolution Hall.
Great. And so I hosted that that was last year I hosted that event.
That's right.
That event is rowdy.
It is super rowdy because it's filled with hundreds of drunk brewers.
Yeah, and they really only care about their own category.
Yes.
So the rest of the time they're just drinking and talking. I had a mic and was still screaming the whole time to get people to be like, what? I'm like, the winner is Breakside Brewery, which won most of the awards.
Hey, give it up for Breakside Brewery!
It was a really good time. It was a really good time. How long you been a brewer?
About 10 years, 11 years now, yeah.
Fantastic. And that seems like a fun job.
It's a very good job, yeah. It's not as glorious as most people think. It's a lot of janitorial work, a lot of cleaning.
Is it a lot of science?
There's that too.
Okay.
Yeah, some science, some art, mostly cleaning.
Okay.
I never knew. Maybe that is something I want to get into. I love to clean.
Come by the brewery on Tuesday. We can try it out. See how you do.
Awesome.
Well, I'm not like super into beer myself, but friends of mine are, and they love Breakside. I mean, I'm loving it right now.
Very kind.
I've
But-
had almost
yeah.
half this beer, you guys. And what, it's been like an hour? I drink it so fast.
Crushing it, yeah. Exactly what we want the customer to do. I've had 3 ounces in the last 6 hours. I love your beer.
And then how long, are you owner at Breakside as
I'm
well?
one of the partners in Breakside. I've been there since day one. I was the founding brewer. I didn't start the company. That was 2 other folks, but
You could say that you did.
yeah, you know,
We won't
I'm,
tell anybody.
Yeah, they're not here.
No.
they might be watching.
Okay.
And yeah, so I've been with Breakside since we started as a little pub brewery up on Northeast Beacom in 2010.
In the hood.
Yeah, you're not just
about-
Portland, you're in our neighborhood.
No, like the beer that I got, I realized after dinner tonight that I was like, oh shit, I didn't bring the beer for the show tonight, so I just swung over to the pub and grabbed a bunch of cases of beer. So that's how we have it.
Fantastic.
And they were like, oh, here comes Ben. Take it.
Yeah, the GM on that.
Yeah. You're like, I'm the founder.
What's your favorite beer? I started this place single-handedly. Give me that beer.
I had 2 partners and they're not here.
But what is your
My favorite beer, I don't have a favorite beer. It's like, so for me, and this is less comedy, this is more beer philosophy now. We'll talk about
Okay.
that for a minute,
Drop it on
which
us.
is that, you know, when you work in beer all the time, as fun as it is, I spend a lot of time thinking about our own beer. Like even just tasting this Pilsner right now, it's hard for me to like get back to that enjoyment level that I had when I first started enjoying beer. And so the best compliment I can ever pay to any other brewer is that their beer like gets me back to that enjoyment level.
It suspends your inner critic.
Yeah,
and
it's
you
it's
just
like
enjoy
some
it.
weird like Freudian pleasure principle thing that sends you back. You
wow,
know.
that's getting more sexual than
Yeah.
I
Yeah, it's the erotics of beer.
All
you know?
right, yeah.
What are some of your favorite other breweries?
So the other brewery that I worked for in Portland before I was at Breakside, before Breakside opened.
Before you founded it.
Yes. Before I created it myself.
Good.
Yeah. No help
is-
from anybody.
Is Upright Brewing, small farmhouse brewery over in the Left Bank building, still making some of the coolest beers in town. I really love the beers coming out of Ale Song down out of Eugene. Make some great beers. Matt Van White's a fantastic brewer. The Pelican beers are ones that I always gravitate towards out on the coast. Freem makes excellent beer. Farley Brown's in far eastern Oregon. Ben Brewing Company. I could go on. But yeah, those are some that I'll
Yeah.
reach come to top of mind.
What beers do you not like?
I think
It's just us here. It's just us.
yeah, just
Andi opened up about her job.
again, I don't know what you're talking about.
Wine. You don't like wine, right?
I do love wine.
Excellent. So, Andi, you are the editor of this beer guide.
I
You
am.
brought one with you?
I have a mock-up copy. The hard copies, all of them are being delivered next week.
Wow.
They will be released after the Beer Awards Tuesday.
And how much does this cost? $60, $80, $203?
That right there is free.
God damn! God damn, it's good to be an American!
It's
That's why.
Printed in
That's why they
color.
can't pay you very much.
Damn it! We figured it out.
Seriously, tell them to make this digital and give you the savings.
I should sell these on the street corner.
Yeah, you
25
should.
bucks a pop.
You should, but so what can people get out of getting one of these?
So what we've done this year, it's a little different from years past, which I've contributed to as a freelancer. So this is my first time being complete head editor of the beer guide.
Hell yeah.
We are, thank you, taking you on pub crawls and road trips throughout the Portland metro area and through some of the best beer cities in the state.
Oh.
So I've organized, I would say, our premium picks for the Portland metro area for a pub crawl. If you would like to go on a marathon drinking session, we have.
I heard everybody say yes.
I heard that too.
That's what I would like.
More my people.
More marathon drinking sessions, please.
We have routes built in for you, so you know exactly where to go and what
Wow.
order is best.
That's
Wow,
great. Now,
excellent.
so in your travels and making this guide, is there just one like rinky-dink town that you're like, that's the one and not the weird one? Well, there's a lot of weird towns in Oregon.
How dare you?
I grew up in Gresham,
But you
so.
also have like I opened this up, I saw Shebop. I was like, you can drink beer at Shebop? Pick out your sex toys and have a wonderful Breakside beer. But you have like companion shops you can go to.
Well, this is the mock-up. This is not the innards
Got
of the
it,
beer
got it.
guide,
Oh,
just
got
the
it.
cover. This
Oh,
is just the
okay.
cover to show everyone the cover.
This was full of lies.
Sorry. Yeah.
It's fine. That's fine. I've been lied to before.
Everything else is still at the printer.
Got
so.
it, got it. Well, fantastic. So does it start with like lighter beers and go to some place where you would get darker beers? Like, is that the order you want to taste things in? Or is there any? I know with wines you want to start with like white and then go to red, right?
Sure,
Something like that.
that is how you would want to taste things, but for a true pub crawl,
Yeah.
we're just focused on geography.
Okay, great. Great. Because people can get anything they want at any place, but you just
Exactly.
want to make sure they can go
We
directly
wouldn't
from
be
one
all
side to the other.
fancy pants Ben Edmunds over here
Oh,
with
wow.
his philosophy. We just want to get drunk sometimes. I mean,
Fantastic. So speaking of that, Andi, we have a test for you.
Oh.
Yeah, we're gonna test your real. You've been bragging about how much you love drinking and how much you love beer. So we are gonna have a little game
Oh my God.
that we call Oregon beer or Norrigan
Not Ben. Ben is not involved.
Ben will probably recognize some of these beers. If you don't mind sipping them after she does, but Andi gets first dibs, then you can also play. So yeah, some of these are Oregon beers, some of these are Norrigan beers, which means they're made outside of Oregon, and we're gonna see how many you can guess. Oh boy. So you're
I
gonna
like how
start
the
with-
graphic is all Norrigan beers.
Well, we crossed out as much as we could, I think, the logos, and if anyone wants us to uncross it out, they can sponsor us. Okay. All right, we'll start.
Can I have a sip of water, a palate cleanser?
No.
Oh, yeah. Can we get some water? I have some water. I sipped it, so I don't know.
It's okay.
Okay.
We're spreading germs here tonight.
Yeah! That means we can make out later, too, Andi, if you want.
All right, beer
Okay,
number one.
Beer number one. Is there an audience member
so
who would
quiet.
like to play? I heard yes from over here. Come on up,
Get
come
up
on
here.
up. The one caveat is you have to be willing to share what Andi is drinking. So when she's done, you
Get
can
in here,
have.
get in here.
And those of you at
Yeah,
home,
come over
play
here.
along
We can
too.
sit in my seat. Sit in my seat. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Jackie.
Jackie. Let's give Jackie a round of applause. We're gonna raise the stakes here.
She's really sniffing it. I'm not going to be as good as her.
You have no idea. She's just acting like she knows a lot. We haven't seen her guess yet.
Oregon beer.
And so let's give Jackie a try. You can cleanse your palate for the. the next one. Maybe if you want to.
There's some water.
Oh, thank you. What do you think?
I would say Norgan.
Andy gets the first point.
Oh! What kind of beer was it?
That was Stay West IPA by Breakside. Would you have known it just by the smell? Would you know it just by smelling it? Can you tell?
Well,
Not just
No,
by-
not you,
oh,
Ben. Ben.
yeah,
All right, number 2, right here.
Okay.
I have a unfair advantage.
Yes, that you know these pretty well.
Yeah.
All right, Andy, go ahead. Number 2 is the next one over. Yep.
Beer number 2.
The thing is, I drink so little beer, I don't even know what criteria is going through their heads to make the decision.
This is a terrible.
For someone who said it's terrible, she sure looks like she's enjoying drinking more of it.
I'm gonna say.
You gotta be faster.
Thank you, Ross.
This is really hard.
It's really just one thing or the other thing.
Give it to that audience
Yeah,
member.
give it to Jackie. Okay, guys, go at the same time. 1,
Norgan. Oh, sorry.
2, 3.
Norgan.
And you said Oregon?
No, I said Norgan.
Norgan. It is a Norgan. That was the Sierra Nevada Torpedo Extra IPA. IPA, the kind of beer everyone loves to hate, right? All right, let's try number 3.
Beer number 3.
Here, Ben, will you hand Jackie number 4? We're going to double these down because it's taking more time.
To guess one or the other, yeah.
Yeah, just 50-50
The network's
chance.
talking to us.
She made a daring snarl because I hope it's not a Breakside because yours is a Norrigan. I hope it's not a Breakside because you do not like it, Andy. Oh, you tasted 4. Did you like it? Okay. Very German. Ladies and gentlemen, Andy Prewitt.
All right, number 4, what?
Okay, number 4. What is? Oh, she is 3.
I haven't tried
She
that
is
one.
Number 3,
I
number
haven't
3.
tried. This is Oregon.
And yours is?
Norgan.
Why- why I haven't
You
tried
are both incorrect.
Oh!
Yours is Coors Banquets.
That's why I didn't like it.
Yeah, you totally didn't like
You made me
it.
second guess myself.
Yours is a Breakside Pilsner.
Wow.
Was she accurate when she said very German?
German style pilsner.
Yay! All right, we're going to stop there. Thank you so much. Here, Jackie, you've won a very German Breakside Pilsner. You take that. Thank you both so much for being here.
Hey, give it a round of applause for Ben and Andy.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Oh, beer.
Tell me your favorite kind of beer, local beer, Oregon beer when I count to 3. 1, 2, 3.
Breakside.
Somebody said Coors Light. That's a lie. It's not even local. All right, we only have a couple things left before we wrap it up. I think we're ready for a little comedy.
Oh my gosh, I really like this next person coming out here.
Yeah, this next person won Portland's Funniest.
He's been working hard since day 1.
He has. He tracks how many shows he's done and where he's done
He's a
them.
tax nerd, and I am also a tax nerd, and I learned one tax trick from him.
What is a tax nerd?
People who have pride in ripping off the government.
Did you hear that, government? Please welcome to the
talk by. Get to my microphone. I appreciate that lovely intro. I have no time to talk about that stuff. You guys having a good time? Everybody having a good time? Lovely. I'll tell you guys about myself. I'm married. My wife and I dated to completion. Thank you. And, it's great. We've been dating since we were in college, so like we never learned how to talk to other people, and it's great. One of the things that's great about it means we don't have to worry about jealousy ever, because she just assumes I definitely could not sleep with anybody else. So, like, my wife thinks about me cheating on her the same way she thinks about our neighbor's dog stealing her bank password. Like, yeah, she would be hurt for sure, but mostly impressed. Really? You did that, buddy? Oh, you're not supposed to do that. He thinks he's people. Great. I had terrible sex ed growing up. Anyone else had bad sex ed?
Yeah.
I know nobody had like great sex. No one was like, it was awesome. Coach Reagan told me all about chlamydia. It's always bad. The variety of bad I had was where they just had someone's mom tell us lies, I guess. That's what we had. In 6th grade, the person who came in told us you could get HIV from kissing. That's... Yeah, and then we all freaked out, and she was trying to like comfort us. She's like, no, don't worry, it probably won't happen. It would only happen if you like swallowed a gallon of the other person's saliva. So not only was she confused about how diseases work, I suspect she kisses weird. A gallon, Mrs. Tresner? That is so much. One of you is a Saint Bernard for sure. And then she made us taste lube. Yeah. Yeah, true story. And I know you're thinking probably the worst part of that was when you had lube in your mouth as a child, but no. The worst part was 25 years later when I found out no one else had to do that. Yeah. That was a rough dinner party. Oh, it was terrible. I was like talking to people and like telling weird sex ed stories. I was like, remember when you tasted lube? And they were like, no. Yeah, you remember. She came around a little tube of KY, put a little bit on everybody's finger, and then you tasted it. Yeah. To prove, obviously, to prove, and they were like, to prove? Shit, she didn't work there. I just figured it out. She's not a real teacher. It's just a lady who came in and bragged about some weird kinks she had. My wife and I are talking about having kids, so I've been thinking a lot about how kids are raised. We decided, because we were looking around, we're like, you know what? I don't think there are enough people. And trying to make some more people. But so I've been thinking about how to raise kids, you know, like I'm especially worried, like what if you have a son? How do you raise a son to not be a monster? You guys have seen the news. Seems really hard. I've thought a lot about what I would teach my son. Like, I think, obviously, I just want to figure out how to raise, like, a dope feminist son, you know, because I'm the real hero. And... Thank you, finally, yeah. Like, obviously, it's very important to talk to your sons about consent. I know you guys are here. It's cool. You guys are cool, so that's not a surprise to you. It was a surprise to my sex ed teacher. Never came up once the whole time. I'm not, like, an educator, but I would take a lesson about consent and then totally replace that part where you lick KY off your finger. That has never come in handy. But I figured out how I'm going to talk about it to my son, though. Because I feel like at this point, it's just, like, consent is like a bare minimum. It's, like, embarrassing we even have to talk about it. It's so low. What we're really looking for is more like participation. That's what I think you should teach kids about, right? Like, if you say, would you like to have sex? And she says, sure. Don't. It's going to be terrible for both of you, right? You really want enthusiasm. That's a little higher bar, right? That would be great, right? No one wants to have sex with a carnival ride operator who's like, sure, yeah, bored, get in, whatever. Just enjoy your time in the magic tunnel, man. Just do what you gotta do. Oh, I forgot to mention this. Also, in my sex ed class, they never taught us the useful things. There were so many things I didn't learn, like how to tell the difference between herpes and ingrown hair. Would have saved me a real weird visit to the doctor. And also, they never told us like the vagina's way further down than it looks in the pictures. I know half of you knew that the whole time, but the diagram makes it look like it points out, and it is at 6 o'clock. It's all the way downtown, and at one point I thought I passed it. I did. I was like, I should go back up, and then she was like, this is my belly button. Let's Let's be friends, right? Let's just talk. I just wish there'd been a part in the class where they'd just been like, hey, it's really closer to the butt than you're expecting. That... those, right? I mean, we can, like, we're all adults. Those two are very close, right? Those are like Starbucks in a Target. That's how close they are. Yeah. So anyway, imagine I'd said that before the consent part. So anyway, we're back in this consent joke, and just said it out of order. Got to finish it. Anyway, so I was talking about enthusiasm. I want to explain to my my kid about you want enthusiasm, right? You don't want would you like to have sex? Sure. You want to be like, would you like to have sex? And then she's like, you better shut up and fuck me before these flight attendants notice we're out of our seats. Like that. That is how I think we should teach consent, right? And then. But then my son would be like, wait, but if she's with you in the airplane bathroom, how's she going to land the plane? Oh, he assumed the pilot was a woman. Yeah, he's my dope feminist son. That's all my time. You guys are wonderful. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your show.
The man, the legend.
Say the thing women have been saying forever. Maybe I'll heard it. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, damn. I still don't know why we don't use our words, you know, when we're together. Like, is this okay? It doesn't have to be like, is this actually okay with you? You know, in colleges they have to ask 3 times to kiss somebody before they can kiss somebody. That's how consent is taught, instead of like, do you like this? Which is hot. That's all you gotta do. How's this? You like it? And you're like, yeah. Oh, I like it so much. Or you can be like, not really. And then you stop. Consent.
Put your hand over there.